down. I'm the one you call when you need a turn up or down. I'm a tent rental man, I'm working all day, getting those stakes in the ground no matter what they say. From sunrise to the night, I make sure everything's right. Yeah, I'm a tent rental man, I'm working all day.
Welcome back to another episode of Under the Vinyl, a rental management media podcast. Kyle, how you doing, buddy?
Okay, I want to set the record straight right now, Nate. I was there with Mike Cruz last week.
Mike, Kyle was there, but Kyle was on a job site. It didn't, we had some technical difficulties, so I just ran with it myself. But overall, great episode. Mike was very knowledgeable of a lot of stuff. The fun part of that was right as soon as we got off that call, I was the following couple days, I was in the warehouse in Nashville digging through all the Vixen stuff that we own and trying to figure out parts and pieces, and blew Mike up all day. So it was actually really helpful for me.
So it was the week of Mike for you?
It was the week of Mike. Biff was sending me diagrams, and somehow Mincer jumped in there and was calling Blake. So we just had everybody at Anchor on it.
It's weird. I got Vixen emails flying back and forth in my email today. It's the week of Vixen, I guess.
Yeah, you got a nice new project coming up with that, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, but it's not a Losberger.
It's not a Losberger. It is not a Losberger.
We won't get into that one. That's for another time.
This episode of Under the Vinyl is brought to you by Anchor Tents and Clearspans, a fifth-generation family-owned company making tents and clearspan structures right here in the USA. Anchor isn't just about selling the best products on the market. They share decades of experience and stand beside you as you grow your business. Anchor's craftsmanship and engineering give you a peace of mind and will allow you to use the equipment for years to come, season after season. For the next generation of rental owners and installers, Anchor aims to not just be your supplier, but a trusted partner helping guide you into the right products to grow your business. Call to be connected to your sales rep today, 1-800-544-4445, or visit their website at anchorinc.com. Just want to get on here, do a quick tailgate talk, and just kind of see what's going on. So, what you got going on right now? What's kind of dominating your season?
It is about to be the weekend of our biggest event of the year right now. So the weather is going to crap, it looks like. I just checked the weather before we started this. So right before we started, I got the text that they're probably going to add 300 or 400 feet of wall and then it ended with, but I'd bring extra. So I'm going to have guys just run around for the next 4 days trying to keep our customer happy, which is never fun, but it's part of the game. It's never good when it's going to rain on a holiday weekend.
Yeah, we have our member guest golf tournament this weekend, and it is supposed to rain all weekend. And then we have one of our biggest events too, one of our NASCAR races that we're doing, and it's also supposed to rain all weekend next weekend. And really for the next 10 days, it's supposed to just pour down rain. And so I'm already trying to plan a week out on everything's been being set up for the past 2 weeks, but just kind of, tents are tents and not permanent buildings. So as much as you do to make them not leak, you're always going to have something, it seems like. So I'm just prepping my mind for that at this point.
Yeah. At some point you realize there's nothing you can do except just stand there and watch it.
Have you seen an increased demand lately, or have you guys been kind of leveled out?
It's funny because I hate admitting that Darren's kind of right about anything. And I was talking to him on the phone last night. The last minute stuff just flows in the door now all the time. And they're not small jobs, which is crazy.
Yep.
It's people aren't planning. It's kind of strange, and I love the stress and the chaos of that stuff, but like at some point it does get old.
We do. Operations doesn't, unless you are operations, and so that becomes the problem. We've been taking a lot of last minute stuff here and there. I've actually got a call today with a pretty good sized one that is going to be quite last minute. And actually Mutton called me the other day and we were having a conversation about that. It feels like everything, I mean, we continue to talk about everything's last minute, but it's like real last minute, like a month out.
It's I don't know how people don't see it coming. There's that, and there's a lot of price shopping happening. Like there was a project that I had set a price in on, and I was going to bring Darren in to work with us. I think I was talking to you about this in the group text.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Darren calls me. He's like, "Hey, what's that job you were you were having me come in on and do the floor for it. Well, they had called Darren. They've called 100 people, it seems like, all to quote this job. It's after they tell you that they're going to go with you. There's no loyalty anymore.
No, I feel like there's a lot of shopping, and what's really kind of comical that now that you say that is like how we talked in the group chat the other day, the 8 of us or whatever,
Yeah.
and we're all doing the same thing for the same client in 4 different places around the country, right?
Yeah.
and just the and also the difference in prices between all of us, right? So it's just been really interesting to see how much it's being price shopped, and how many different companies are being brought in. I think, like we said before, we're going to see a lot more of this, especially with FIFA coming up. I think that you're going to get a lot more of this price shopping. There's going to be a lot of people calling. Um, I just wish that there was a little bit more loyalty in that aspect, and you try and have those conversations to, try and get them to be loyal and things like that. But it's like the end of the day, anywhere else in life, a handshake doesn't go nearly as far as it used to. So I mean, luckily you know who your people are, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely challenging. And I mean, like if we had all known we were quoting those jobs that we're all doing starting next week
And
across
then
the
different
country,
story.
that would honestly the whole group chat probably could have handled the whole country.
Yeah, we had a conversation about that. I actually said that we could broker that deal, and the problem with brokering that deal is you have to have one dedicated person taking that whole thing on the entire time,
Yeah.
and then literally doing nothing else, right?
Yeah.
I learned that a lot from Rob at 24/7 back in the day when he used to do all the things he was doing, and they had one person, Stacy, at that time that worked for him, that she was brokering all that stuff out, and that was her only job. And that is very consuming. So I think in a perfect world, stuff like that would be nice to be able to do, but I just don't know if the bullshit's really worth it at the end of the day to try and
Yeah.
put somebody on that.
Yeah. To make 10 or 15% maybe if you're lucky.
Right. Right. What's kind of been some important things that you found during this, kind of mid-season so far? We're in the thick of it over the month of May, as you can hear in the background, month of May, in June. So what's kind of been good for you guys, and what's been important for you guys over this past couple months?
Well, it'd be nice if those bosses put the orders in and don't call you at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday and tell you that you're short 200 tables because they didn't put an order in. But
Oh,
I'm sure everyone can guess who that guy would be.
yeah,
Um, honestly, I've been just trying to keep crew morale good. I think
yeah.
we've worked one Saturday this spring, which is incredible. Um, I'm lucky I got a great crew. They all know what they're doing. We roll up to a job site. I'm truly blessed with that. I'm not working with new labor every year. I have the same guys year after year, so that does help a lot. And every year we get better at our jobs. The weather has sucked this spring. I'll say that. We didn't have a spring. I don't think we had winter and some.
It's jumped right into the busy. It's jumped right into the rain too. I mean, it's the month of May. It always rains, but I feel like we just hit it hard recently.
Yeah, and it's never the good. Why can't it rain on like a Wednesday? Why has it got to rain
No,
on
yeah,
Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
every time. What's been kind of the communication like between your operations, sales, and just overall crews during the busy time?
I feel like it's actually been a lot better than it has been in the past. Now a lot of our work this time of year is recurring, so at this point, my leads know the jobs. I send them to a site; they know exactly what has to happen already, so it kind of cuts out that communication needed.
Yep.
I've been forcing the hand on sales, making them go out on any big project and get the tent laid out with the crew lead or me the day before, things like that, just because that does save so much time and it avoids the client having to talk to the crew. Which there's nothing wrong with clients talking to the crew, but
There's a lot
sometimes
of
it's,
confusion. A lot of
yeah,
confusion.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, the client wanted to move the tent not based on the drawing I gave the lead, and the lead called me. He's like, "What do you want me to do?" And I was like, "Well, she's always right, but let me call the client and make sure that everyone is on the same page here.
Well, because at the end of the day, the crew doesn't want to disappoint you as a salesperson or you as the operations person. They want to make sure overall their company's on their back at that point, and they want to do what the customer wants. But what the customer wants might cost us $1,000,
Yeah.
or a couple $1,000, and I think that's the tough part.
Well, and like the
Uh,
sales guy in that job isn't here this week. He doesn't come back till Friday. So on Friday, if he goes there, he's going to go, well, hey, why didn't they put the tent where I gave you perfect CADs with measurements off the corners of the buildings? Like we're 100 feet off here. What's going on?
Yep.
So it's just, you got to make sure everyone's on the same page at all the times.
Oh, absolutely. And are you guys creating timelines to pass out from the sales out to the operations to the crew then? Are you doing anything like that?
Once the salesman makes the sale, it gets passed
Mhm.
over to me, and then I'm making the timeline for them to go back to the client and say, this is
So
our,
operations making the timeline.
yeah. Obviously, if sales knows, okay, you only have 3 days, they'll tell me that at the beginning. Or if I only have 2 days, things like that. But I typically am making the timeline for the crews.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Currently, right now, we're doing it where the salesperson does it. It's a lot on the salesperson, but it's more so because the salesperson knows exactly what's going on, and then passing it over to operations, kind of look everything over if they need to, or if anybody, if any, for the most part, our salespeople are just like you. I mean, we've done it. We're in the field. There's some new salespeople that'll ask some questions on their timelines and kind of go over it with somebody. But for the most part, we pass ours straight from sales to operations.
Yeah. We run off a Google Calendar.
Yeah.
So that's where, like, if I want to move an install, I'll move it on the calendar and then send a notification to the sales so they can see right away in real
Mm-hmm.
time, hey, something came up, we got to move this install. Does that work for you? Just because it's easier than going into Party Track and changing the delivery. So they all get real time notifications of when I want to install and when I want to dismantle every job.
Yeah, for me, I love to see the crew have the timeline, like the physical timeline that says when you're putting what tent up and where, and every detail through the whole job, through the whole contract. Just because they own it, then
Yeah.
a lot of the time, I feel like you could send them out and say, "Hey, this is this project. It has 200 tents on it. Start here," and they're going to be like, "Okay, and then what do I do? What do I do?" And then you're getting calls more and more. Where if you could put the timeline in their hand with the details, I feel like that's giving them the responsibility. They own it. They know what to do, and they have it all in their hand.
The only thing I've realized with doing it that way is they will work the 14 hours to get the list done because that's what you wrote.
So I was gonna,
Whereas,
yeah.
so like I'll downplay what I want them to do that day, and then I'll end with, if you have time, you can start this. Just
So
because
let's,
I
yeah.
don't want, obviously, I want to cut the overtime. That's where we lose all our money.
Well, it's funny you say that. I want to dive into that. So 14-hour days. So typically, what do we consider like a normal day? A 10-hour day, right?
Yeah,
Um,
we try to be 6 to 5 with a lunch.
6 a.m. to 5 p.m. with a lunch. Okay. So let's say we call it a 10-hour workday, 8 to 10-hour workday, right? You give them a timeline. They go out, they're setting this job up, and you say it needs to be done in this amount of days. But now they're working 14-hour days, right? They're working 14-hour days, but it gets done on time. Do you take that as they were mismanaged, or you didn't have somebody there that should have been managing that 14 hours because you know it could have got done in this amount of time? Or do you feel like, well, they still got it done in that correct amount of time, so we're
Well,
good with
that's my issue with timelines. You're telling them they have 4 days. Well, what if they work? Now they know in their head they have 4 days. What if they could have done it in 3?
So are you going to force the project manager to be out there to kind of watch over them? Are you going to force somebody to go out there and check in on them to make sure everything's okay?
My leads kind of double as the project managers. I mean, obviously, Uncle Kevin,
Yeah.
Ramon, who works for me. So those are my 2 number 1 project managers. They know that I'm going to hold them to a strict, let's get this done mentality, especially Uncle Kevin. Anyone who knows that guy, he's the Energizer Bunny. He just wants the project done as fast as he possibly can. But like, obviously, you have to take it. It's been 98 degrees every day this week, so they're working a little bit slower.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been bad. I mean, it's been the humidity for us hit pretty quick and it got hot fast. But I mean that's another good point. That takes us over to like flooring and the increase in flooring and climate control, right? We've been doing raised level floor TF for a long time. I know you got into it pretty deep here recently, that you've been doing it a lot. Have you felt like there's been quite the influx of climate control and overall just flooring jobs as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I got into the TF. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I did it. And I'm shocked with how much work I've gotten, more than what I thought I was going to have. And I got
Yeah.
a bunch more leads coming in. So there is definitely a market for it. Climate control wise, I'm still not doing a bunch of it. I think people around me get shell shocked when you give them that price. So that's really your high end budget. And, I've learned a few lessons along the way on the jobs I've done climate control. You don't go through
Yeah.
the floor anymore, dress up those wall mounted units, things like that. But yeah, I do see a trend going towards climate control, level floors, fully enclosed, hard walls, glass. All that is more and more prevalent as time goes on. And I don't know how long it's going to last, because it's a huge budget driver for people.
Well, the AC is through the roof. Now, I mean, I love all my AC guys. Shout out Brandon from United and everybody over there. They are amazing when it comes to all my installs and I pay the premium, but at the end of the day, I know what I'm getting and I know the quality that I'm getting, so I'm not too disappointed in it, right? Where trying to sell that though is damn near impossible, especially in a clear tent nowadays, right? So like last weekend, I found an alternative. I did find an alternative. So client at the last minute wanted on a Monday, event was on going up Thursday, event was on Saturday, in our Arkham, clear Arkham, black frame, and they didn't want to pay when I sent the price over. They didn't want to pay for that AC price, and the load in was going to be pretty substantial. But what I end up doing is United now has these fans. They're stand up ones called Vector fans. They're nice black units, and they can either they can mist or they're regular fans, right? They're probably about 5 foot tall, 4 foot tall. I think they're about 5 foot tall, and they're just a large fan that blows a good amount of AC in there. You can put some water in them to cool them, but they look good for high-end events. So they kind of disappeared. They put them. I had them install them around the tent. We put 17 of these bad boys in the tent. And if you find the pictures or see the pictures on Instagram, they disappear in the tent. You don't even see them. And it just so happened that the CEO of Vector, the fan company, was at the wedding. And so it
No
kind of,
way.
yeah. And so like he was over the moon, excited that was going on, or that those fans were there. The client was happy, and it was actually a really good alternative to AC. And now my client's been bragging about it. And it was a fraction of the price. I mean, an absolute fraction of the price.
And it was fully enclosed?
No, it wasn't fully enclosed. I had them they kept the sides open all the way around. At one point, we talked about leaving two sides off because it was right off the lake and have a nice breeze blowing through there. But it was hot at night. But with the fans, nobody complained at all. Said it was amazing. Everything was great. So nice alternative if you're out there looking for something. Contact United and looked into the Vector fans. But they were a great alternative to the AC. Not in a way that it's gonna be absolutely freezing cold, but you get what you pay for type thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, anything else going on?
Nothing crazy.
Awesome. Well, I know I got to get back on the road here, and I know you got things to do. Just want to give another shout out there that we are holding the boot camp on August 18th and 19th in Nashville for safe tenning.
Look at you really talking this thing up, man.
I'm trying to get quite the crowd. So far, I had Brian Bolt in the other day. We did a little walkthrough on everything and discussed how it was going to go. I think we've got some pretty cool stuff that's going to be set up. A lot of good people coming in that I've talked to. But yeah, anybody in the country want to come out, get on the safe tenning? Would love to have you.
Drink on Broadway with me and Nate.
Drink on Broadway with us at some point. But yeah, no, I think it's going to be a blast. So get on the ARA's website. There'll be more stuff coming out about that, but just get on there now, get signed up, so we can kind of get a head count and see who's coming. We got some time ahead of us, but yeah, I think it's going to be good. So, all right, Kyle, back
That's a
to
wrap.
go. That's a wrap. It's been another episode of Under the Vinyl, a rental management media podcast.